Freeze.
Anytime, bro.
Are we on yet?
What? Why was?
Okay, well, it's still running for me. Because it's still running for me. That's how shitty my internet service is. I could tell by the look on Culture's face that it was over because I don't even see the screen. I don't even see what's going on. Anywho, welcome to the Wednesday night edition of the Dump. It is the Humpty Dump edition. I am your great host, handsome, a little bit under tall. That means I'm overweight. Smart, intelligent man, Sporking. With us tonight, we have two guests. First, the mod that needs no introduction, but I'm going to introduce him. Makini90, the artist of the Fandom Menace. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on, guys. I'm happy to be here and happy to see the chat, see I had everybody here. So, yeah, thank you.
It's going to be good. It's going to be a fun one. Next, we have the great Stig Kenobi dropping in on a Wednesday edition. Usually, Stig and I do our Song of Ice and Fire streams, but Stig wanted to talk about the first article we're doing. So, Stig, thank you for showing up tonight.
Well, thank you for having me on. And
of course,
yeah, it's going to be fun. Bunch of good people on the panel, and sounds like a good Wednesday night for me.
I'm glad you're always invited. Next to him, we have the up and coming channel who's overtaking us all, Culture Casino.
Hi, I'm Culture Casino. I have a YouTube channel. I don't know about overtaking all of you guys, but I like hanging out with all of you guys. That's the truth.
Hell yeah.
And I got the thingy with the thingy came through. You know the thing? Do I sound like Biden yet? No. Yeah. So I sound no. So I got the monetization thing done, and the bank finally linked. Yeah, it took them bloody forever, but so my monetization. The thing that whole thing when you do a party of so I got that coming up. I think I'm doing it on Monday afternoon before everybody else's shows. So yeah,
around what time, buddy?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'll put it in.
I would love to jump in for a little bit.
Same here.
Yeah. Of course, you guys are all welcome. I'm going to throw everybody an invite. It's going to be like a Twister party. You get flopping the legs and arms and everywhere. It's going to be great.
Nice. Congratulations, my friend. And
thank you. It's all because of you guys and everybody out there in the chat. So yeah, sorry. Yes. I'll stop talking.
Yeah, no, not at all. And my OG fourth waiver, the great Steven Astorian Walton.
What an asshole. I see my future ex-husband in the chat. Hey, Thomas. What's going on, buddy?
Uh-oh.
Good to see you guys. Scotty, could you screen share that for me?
Yep.
I am author Steven Walton, the Phantom Menace historian. I'm the author of the Phantom Menace volumes, and volume 2 is currently available up on Indiegogo. Please go check that out. Going to be doing a lot of circuits and advertising on a lot of different channels. This week on Thursday, I'm going to be hanging out on Mindless Entertainment with Jeff Hicks and Jesse Milestone, doing a little talking about the volumes, and possibly on the High Council on Tuesday or the following week. Not sure yet, but I'm going to do something on Jesse's channel I don't normally do, because apparently it's called Thirsty Thursday and they do drinking. So I'm actually going to drink on a live stream, and I plan on getting a straight Glendafield.
Nice. You got to do it. You got when in Rome, do like the Romans, brother.
That's right. Did I say that right, Stig?
What?
Oh, damn it. I was trying to use one of your words. Andre gave me this word the other week. I was Greftafil.
Greftafil?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. That means you're ditch drunk, basically.
Yeah. So I'm going to do that on Thursday, so come and check that out. Thank you very much, guys. I appreciate everybody in the chat. Please hit the like button, the share, and, sub if you want to. Thank you very much for being here. Let's get started.
Yeah, let's get started.
If you want to.
Sub if you want to show your
around
support.
the world. Yeah, right. Let's find out who is the first person in the chat. And the first person in the chat tonight, and also my first super chat of the night for $9.99, the Gilk Man, who had one of the best weekends of his life. He went out and hung out with Kasha Queen and Ords Board and had a ball out in Chicago, and I'm so happy for him. He says, "Hail to an incredible panel. Much love to all. Hashtag cancel the Gilk Man. Never. What I love about the Fandom Menace is we can disagree but still be good at the end of the day. Thank you for all that you do." And, really quick on that, guys, I think the reason I went into the Fandom Menace was because people were angry, yes, but they were disagreeing with each other but still showing each other respect. Even if they were yelling at each other, it ended as friends like it's always supposed to.
Unless you don't like Ahsoka, right, Stig?
Oh yeah, that was 20,000 people upset with me for about 5. Yeah, death threats. Someone was gonna shoot me in the knee.
In the knee.
But
wow.
Oh yeah. I'm not kidding. It was retweeted and commented on. Now about 20,000.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question, Stig. Stig, would those people be considered in the Fandom Menace, though?
They're in the graveyard now.
Anybody can carry a hashtag and misrepresent it, and that's or one thing. The way that I write about the Fandom Menace is we are fighting for the right to have an opinion. Whether those opinions are good or bad is really dependent on the perspective. But there's a cat in. I was on ETEP's channel the other night when I was talking with a guy who was like anti-Fandom Menace until he started talking to us, and all his positions and all his points are kind of not what I would say are my own, but we had a 3-hour conversation, great conversation, respected each other at the end, and I hope to stream with that guy again. So those are the kinds of people that carry the hashtag that I respect. So hail to the Gilk Man, my future ex-husband.
And definitely, guys, please make sure you subscribe to the Gilk Man. He's still trying to climb to the 1,000 mark, and he's just a great guy who's very honest. That's the one thing I could say about Gilk Man. He talks about things he's going through in life. I consider his channel a vlog channel, and it's a fantastic one to You hear him sometimes when he's down, you hear him sometimes when he's happy, and it helps you maybe get through some stuff. So please check him out. Next up, we have Miss Martin Muses, one of my panelists on our Monday night Song of Ice and Fire streams.
The loveliest rose.
Yes, the loveliest rose. I'm sorry, I thought someone was about to say something there. She's fantastic. She also has a channel, so please subscribe to her. We have Tina Bojan, who is a channel member, and she supports how many of us? All of us.
Yeah,
she supports us all,
always,
man.
Always.
She was one of my first.
How do you get channel members? Because
I gotta get monetized.
I only get likes and comments.
Yeah, you have to get monetized. Once you're monetized, you can apply for membership. And it used to be like 30,000 subs you had to have, but they've been opening it up to a lot. Anybody really that got over 1,000 and is monetized.
If you do more than top 5s, you'll get over 1,000.
Well, my watch time is like 40 minutes this year.
Yeah,
lagging behind.
I would think, Stig, if you actually put it, the effort in, your channel would blow up for everybody that you know. So
it would blow everybody.
That's not going to happen. I'm not going to put effort into it.
Phrasing, Steven. Phrasing.
Steven. Oh, Stig, never say never. That's all I'm going to say.
I would say never with Stig. He enjoys streaming and talking about things he does and likes, but the channel is just a way he could do that.
Yeah, I just don't give a shit about my channel.
Well, you know what? You always bring great content, so thank you for that. I got to say that. Culture Casino, is that a Doomicorn? Thank you, sir.
The trick I'm doing though is if I'm on other people's channel, right? I can say whatever I want, and they have to deal with the shit. I
hear you, brother. Timon-Flip. Yeah. Hey, yo. What's up, brother? Emotionally Unstable, Emotionally Unstable Amphibian is another channel member. How are you doing, my man? Let's see. We have Pop Culture Avenger up in the house. Good to see you here. Did it even come up? I can't tell.
There you go.
Computer
he
sucks.
popped up.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Another author in the Fandom Menace.
Yes.
We have Kai M.F.S. Great.
Kai.
I promise, Kai, I'm ordering it either tomorrow or Friday.
Kai, I had no idea. Bleeding Fool asked me for a press packet. I said, I asked Culture Casino. I said, what's a press packet? And he sent me a picture of yours, which helped me to frame up mine, dude. So Kai, good for you. Please get this book. I can't wait to read this book. Kai is, from what I've heard, everybody that's read it is really enjoying that book. And tell us, Culture Casino, you've been reading it. How do you like it?
I'm on my second time through. I have 3 more chapters left. I've written a substantial amount of a review, which I have to now boil down to smaller. But it's way too many words.
Wow!
You can only, you are targeting that 10-minute window for a YouTube video, right? And this will be like, I don't know, 2.5 weeks long. It's just way too long, so I'm gonna have to boil it down. But the book is amazing, very well written, lots of stuff going on. There is action at the very beginning. I mean, the character development's fast, even for characters that that don't stick around for all the time. There's some really cool stuff. Plus aliens, spaceships, pirates,
nice
crime. I mean, it's called space crime Domino. This is hardcore sci-fi fun stuff. It's well written. I don't know. I can't wait. This is the first volume of many. And I think 5 or 6, and it's worth the time, because first of all, you won't realize how much time you've spent reading it. So if I didn't have to do regular work stuff, I'd be done again through it the second time, and I would be finished with my review that I would have to be revising because it's too long. It's a good book though.
If you don't notice time passing when you're reading, the writer has done a good job.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Agreed. 100%.
Absolutely. Keep up the good work, my brother. I will definitely be ordering it this Friday. A little something came up in the state of Virginia, and I owed them some money. Do not speed in the state of Virginia, people. It is scary. I saw kids go to jail because they were going 30 miles over the speed limit. Oh yeah, dude. I was shocked. I walked up to the judge because I got a speeding ticket, and I was just assuming I'd pay a fine and leave. And after watching these kids get thrown in jail, suspended license, I walked up. I had no lawyers. Like, how do you plead? I'm like, no contest. Like I didn't know what to do. I was scared. I was like, sir, please don't suspend my license. I felt like a little kid. So don't speed in Virginia, people. Don't do it.
Technically in most states, your 20 miles an hour plus is considered felony speeding. So just keep that in mind.
Yes. And don't do it.
The tip, go 80 miles over the speed limit.
Yes.
Then they can't catch you.
Nitrous.
Yeah, they're not going to catch you.
Yeah.
You cannot run the radio.
Yeah. I live my life a quarter mile at a time.
Higher speed, lower tickets.
Do you think that's why he shaved his head? He just wants to be Vin Diesel. You think that's why?
Yes, it's not because I'm bald. It's because I want to be like Vin Diesel. Yeah, really.
You think I should shave my head?
Yes.
No.
You think that would be a good look for me?
Nah.
No.
I found out who Sporking looks like. Finally, Alex Sector from the old Mask show from the 80s.
The cartoon.
The guy who drove the
Mack truck.
Yeah, the bald guy.
Probably a fat guy, wasn't he? Usually the fat guy.
No, he was fit.
No, he was fit.
Yeah,
he had an athletic build. I sometimes get that.
He was
hail to white supremacy.
He's younger than you.
We have Sam McCabe in the house. Sam and Nick are the brothers from Down Under, and they both have channels now. Yep. Next Wednesday, they will be joining us on the dump. So both brothers will be on the show next Wednesday. So please make sure you guys
that's the
keep an eye on that. Yeah,
that's the fifth wave right there.
The new breed.
Yeah, it started in the fifth wave, man, and those guys are definitely supportive. They've been supporting the fourth wave since we started. So I appreciate that. Another great YouTuber, the Time Prophet.
Yes.
Time Prophet.
Let's see. I don't think I missed anybody. So if I did, I'm sorry. But let's get to this tonight.
Okay.
All right. I wanted to give some people a chance to get in here. So, guys, what do you think of Pablo Hidalgo?
Let's see.
He's round.
I think he's obsessed with the Chewbacca.
Well, he also used to be very obsessed with Ethan.
I heard a story about him.
Yeah,
he was auditioning for Jabba the Hutt, but he couldn't lose enough weight to pull the part off.
Wow, that's why they picked Gail Simone then.
Damn.
That's what you call burn.
Pablo is one of those. Well, Pablo is one of those people that just doesn't care about canon. You know, he just doesn't care about the fans. He's in there to press his agenda, get a paycheck. I don't know if he's too smart to know what he's doing or if he's just too stupid.
No, Steven,
what do you think he was in the? Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry. He's actually the reason why the Star Wars fandom split, because he was the one that pushed for the old canon to get removed.
Wow,
that was his doing.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
It's too hard.
He stabbed George in the back. Basically.
Why do you think he was a part of the old Lucasfilm story group?
I mean, he might have. I don't know.
He lied. He was probably a person that latched on to this group of people to get his career going, and when he saw the winds of change, he went with the winds of change, and he decided to go full out SJW and agenda-filled Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah, obviously that type of thinking, that rhetoric was already in existence there. I think that it was a subculture. You know, George Lucas put Kathleen Kennedy in charge, which means either George Lucas co-signs this craziness, which I don't think, or she was fooling everybody around her. And considering the people that she's hired since, I'd rather go with the latter. You know, I think she's just being deceptive.
Or here's the thing. Nobody paid any attention to her. I mean, lots of stories are told about the fact that she would bring up stuff in meetings and people would laugh at her and not do anything with it. Like, well,
right.
What if
wasn't
they,
it?
you know,
well, culture, wasn't it also her husband is the reason why she got her name tacked onto certain films? I mean,
there's speculation. There's speculation that some of that could have been involved. Nobody knows for sure. I mean, and the people that would know for sure are not going to talk about it unless some real bad things go down in her life, you know? So, I mean, there's always going to be that speculation because she doesn't seem to have arrived there on merit because of how she's treated the golden goose, the legendary property that she had, you know, how the way that she's treated it. So,
Midnight's Edge had something about that.
Yes, they did.
She was on set when that accident in the 80s happened with the stuntman or the actor who died.
Yeah.
And ever since that happened, she started getting better jobs. She has shit on people.
Yeah.
Huh. That's you know what, to reach man or woman or male, to reach that level in the entertainment business, you have to be cold-blooded. You have to be a two-face. There's not many people that keep their soul that get that high up. There's not many.
Unless they create their own thing. If they created their own thing.
If you're your own boss.
Yeah, James Cameron, you know, there's a handful. Kubrick. There were a handful of them, you know.
Kubrick's a piece of crap.
Well, you know, if you think about it, it's very easy to lie with a straight face when your face is stiff from Botox anyway.
That's true. It's a distinct advantage here.
I brought it up for this reason right here, because Pablo opened his mouth. Pablo wants everyone to know that Star Wars author Pablo Hidalgo claims Luke Skywalker was supposed to die in Episode 8, and that's per George Lucas, he's saying.
That's a lie.
Yeah, it's a lie. And Steven's going to read this one for us because my computer sucks. Steven?
Actually, it's supposed to be me, so I'll read it.
Oh, it's you. Oh, good, because he's not
right.
here. I'm sorry, buddy. Go right ahead. Start it up.
Star Wars author Pablo Hidalgo claims Luke Skywalker was supposed to die in Episode 8. Star Wars author Pablo Hidalgo recently published Star Wars Fascinating Facts, in which he claims that Luke Skywalker was supposed to die in Episode 8. Okay, cool. Check it out. With the book's release, parts of it have made their way to the internet, and one page titled Luke Skywalker's Destiny claims that George Lucas had Luke Skywalker die in Episode 8. Sometimes the way these are written.
I know they just keep repeating stuff and repeating.
Yeah, Twitter user at Oozer shared the page that fully reads, years before the Last Jedi began development, the treatment left behind by George Lucas in 2012 also had Episode 8 be the one wherein Luke Skywalker would die.
Can I,
Andrew,
chime in on that one?
Yeah,
go ahead.
It wasn't 2012, it was 2011.
Oh,
so
true.
Right there, he's wrong.
Yep.
True.
Now,
right.
Have you heard this before, Stig? Have you heard that he was going to kill off Luke?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, so I never heard this. And that's why I thought it was kind of fascinating.
Yeah, he was gonna... His sequel trilogy was going to focus on Anakin's grandchildren, meaning Luke and Leia's kids. And George said, it's no secret, they're already in the books. That's what he said.
Right.
He was following the EU, Jaina Solo and all that. But in the Legacy comics, which were canon, Luke is Force Ghost. So he has died somewhere between the final novel and those comics. So fans knew he was going to die eventually, right? So fans aren't pissed off that Luke was killed. It's the way.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And we'll read on.
Yeah. So in order not to read that 4 more times, I'm going to just say, read this page that I just said already, that the tweet just said, and that the page said. So I'm not saying it again.
All right.
However, as Disney Star Wars is dumb, Ichibaka points out, this claim actually contradicts what Mark Hamill stated about his character in an interview with IGN back in 2018. Hamill explained, I happen to know that George didn't kill Luke until the end of Episode 9 after he trained Leia, which is another thread that was never played upon in The Last Jedi. Not only did Hamill detail that Luke wasn't supposed to die until Episode 9, I did not write this, but he also explained that George Lucas had written an overall arc for the trilogy, something he says Disney did not do. George had an overall arc. If he didn't have all the details, he had sort of an overall feel for where the sequel trilogy was going. But this one's more like a relay race. You run and hand the torch off to the next guy, and he picks it up and goes, Hamill stated. He continued
being honest. I love when he was being honest during the sequel trilogy.
Yeah. He continued, Ryan, whatever his name is, Ruin didn't write what happens in 9. He was going to hand it off to originally Colin Trevorrow and now JJ. It's an ever-evolving, living, breathing thing. Whoever's on board gets to play with the life-size action figures that we all are. The Last Jedi director, Ruin Johnson, confirmed the fact that there was no planned story after The Force Awakens. I'm sure they talked about where it might go early on, but when they came to me, there was no map story presented beyond TFA. I'm not going to read
this. Both Ryan Johnson, Colin Trevorrow, JJ Hamill, everyone confirms this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Trevorrow, when he got fired for being difficult, he was upset that Ryan Johnson had killed the villain, which was Snoke, and he had nothing to fix Luke's death. Because he was going to use Luke. Mm-hmm. And interesting enough, we had this revelation a few months ago with the art of the sequel trilogy's book, I think it was called.
Yep.
where Dave Filoni was the one who suggested all this crap, so they
Well,
could
of
push for. Yeah. Oh yeah.
I can't stand Filoni anymore.
Yeah, there's an excerpt from that conversation they had, and he said, "We need to bring the matriarchy back to Star Wars."
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So he's the one who came up with nerfing Luke.
It's just, it kills me. I know we've hashed this over so many times, but the idea that you would even start a trilogy without locking in one director, one vision, one story to go ahead with, and not, let's just put out a movie to make some money and then we'll work from there with other directors.
Well,
and
at least
it'll all work out.
At least one outline. You've got access to all of the original OT characters, the actors who started this entire ship. And you did not put them together. You did not use that. And the worst part is the guy who tried to hold on to somewhat of a idea of what Star Wars is. Trevorrow gets fired. He gets fired because he's upset that the story isn't something that should be put out there. He was being honest. He's like, I need this character. How do you have Luke? Luke die because he meditated too hard. And he just becomes one with the Force.
It's actually a plot hole because you can't overdose on the Force because it's in and around you all the time anyway.
Right.
You don't suck in the Force. You guide it.
It surrounds us. It binds us.
Yeah.
It penetrates you.
It penetrates. That's right. Penetrates us like Kathleen Kennedy did to the whole Star Wars fandom. And this is why I'm writing the Fandom Menace volumes. Because 10 years from now, when people look back and they go, do you remember the original trilogy? Yeah, I remember that. Do you remember the prequels? Yeah, I had some issues with them, but I liked them. Remember the sequels? The what? Those garbage films? Why were they garbage? I lay it all out for you. I need to thank you, Stick, for reminding me about Filoni. I need to put something about Filoni in volume 2.
Felonioni.
Filoni, when he made the Clone Wars, after season 3, he was left with his own devices, right? Because George Lucas went on to make was it Black Tails war movie, and that's when the problem started. And Karen Travis was one of the best writers for Star Wars. She had written all the lore and all that about the Mandalorians and the clones.
Right.
Filoni ignored every damn thing. And she was told to fix it later, but she couldn't. She had 8 or 9 novels already written. So you can't just go back and fix them, right?
And it's funny.
Quit. So
feminist.
Quit. Feminist icon Dave Filoni drove the best female Star Wars writer out of the company.
Well, she must not have had the right ideology. She must have been internalizing misogyny or something.
Who knows?
Yeah.
What year was this?
Don't know, but you can find the information about it on her blog.
I'm just wondering if it was like pre #MeToo before all this, started tipping over.
Oh yeah.
One thing. Go ahead.
I think I have the article. I'm going to put it in the chat.
Stig, I might hit you up sometime and pick your brain about some of this stuff for volume 2, if you don't mind.
Sure.
All right. Cool.
Yeah, he's an encyclopedia. I like what. Am I going to say this wrong? Tealum 29. Tealum. Yeah, I'm trying. George Lucas wanted to start episode 7 through 9 around the legacy of the Jedi novel run, to which Luke was working with his son Ben. There's been a couple. I mean, he had a treatment developed. It was the wills. It was like the story of the wills. So the first one is the first set of trilogy was about the mystical side of the Force. The prequels was about the scientific side of the Force, and then that final one would be about the true origin of the Force. And that was his belief.
It was going to be about the midichlorians, so they finally made sense, right?
Yeah.
Right.
George had a plan, and fun fact: midichlorians, he already talked about them in the 70s, so they were always there. It wasn't something he just made up.
Yeah.
Right. It's something he always wanted to add in, and now as the years have gone on, it doesn't bother me as much, because the way I look at it is that when the Jedi were at their height, they would know the scientific side of it also with the mystical side. And when the Jedi were destroyed, it became more of a mythological thing. So I kind of felt, okay, so maybe that's how that worked out. You know, I kind of figured that in my head. And it makes me not be mad at the originals anymore.
Good.
No, not the originals. I'm sorry, the prequels. The prequels.
Good. Don't be mad at the prequels.
No, I don't mind them. I actually, I can't stand Hayden Christensen as Anakin. I think he's a terrible actor.
I like the prequels for what they are. Revenge of the Sith is my favorite movie. I love the original trilogy. Like, nothing can replace the original trilogy. I love all three of those films. But
absolutely,
awesome.
Revenge of the Sith is one of my favorite films of all time.
Fantastic.
Can I just say the love, the forbidden love of Padme and Anakin Skywalker destroyed a galaxy. I felt nothing. There was no heat. There was nothing.
Really?
You know, like that's the reason why. Yeah, she mailed that whole freaking trilogy in. You could tell she didn't want to be there.
Nah, I don't think so, man.
It's symbolism. It's big time mythological because, I mean, Anakin gives her that apple thing, and later they're outside in what's basically a garden. I mean, apple, Garden of Eden.
Yeah, dig it. Well, you know what? Okay, there were some definitely cringe moments in the Clone Wars, and it almost did feel like a forced romance, and I get that that could have been done a lot more elegantly, a lot more with
I mean,
could have been done. You know,
if he didn't look at her like a stalker, maybe
he was just creepy Anakin, bro.
Yeah, he looked like he was about to like do something against the law. Yeah, sure, yeah. I mean, nowadays, that would be considered, I don't know, a toxic relationship even before he became toxic. You know, with the dark side. So that's all I'm saying. Culture, how you feeling? You seem to be, are you gassy or something upsetting you?
No, okay. So she's at least 10 years older than the little boy, right?
Yes.
When we see the first movie, The Phantom Menace.
5 years.
Five.
There can't be 5 years difference. He looks, how old is he? 10?
He likes older chicks, man. Just let it go with it. All right, go ahead.
He's 9 and she's 14.
Yeah,
she's 14.
Wow,
that's what she was supposed to be.
Yeah. In episode 1.
Okay,
it's just
that's
he
the
was
case,
a creeper.
then I guess it's fine. It's just there's a significant age difference, you know, and she's moved along pretty quickly in her political career. He's been stunted his entire life, and you know, and I don't know. Anyway, I didn't like any of the aspects of the romantic relationship between the two of them. Maybe it could have been done better, but
it could have been done better.
My problem with it was those things and not necessarily the entire lack of, you know, story. And I didn't really enjoy Jar Jar, but he wasn't as offensive to me as he was to some others. But it took away from the purpose of the droids because, you know,
right.
You know, normally 3PO and R2 were your comic relief for the show. I didn't like, I mean, well, there's a laundry, you know what? That's not what this today's about.
I know,
today's
but it's all right.
We'll
get back to this.
So yeah, but I'll watch the prequels and be like, okay, those are fine. And then, you know, and then they flow right into, you know, the real movies, you know
what, Culture? Me, you, Steven, and Stig. No offense, McKinney. You could jump on it too. I didn't mean to leave you out.
Oh, I need another prequel defender in here.
We should review the 3 movies together on a live stream. One each live stream.
Yeah. I'm up for it. I don't think anybody's going to want to hear my running commentary about, wow, that's really bad. Yeah.
Everyone out there, if you could still bitch about about anything with Star Wars, put a 1. If you're completely over bitching about it, put a 2. I really would like to know because I always think I'm a 2, but I'm definitely a 1. All right, Culture, whenever you're ready, buddy.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to comply with your directive to put a 1 in the chat. No.
Oh, so I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Good job. Good job.
I'm going to fulfill the next directive, which is continue reading from wherever I left off. Hidalgo would also seemingly try to claim that Luke's depiction in The Last Jedi was part of Lucas's original treatment that Disney purchased from him. The author wrote, Although Luke only barely appears in The Force Awakens, the concept artists had a lot to imagine based on the fragments of the story they were hearing as it developed. Rey was on a mission to seek out Luke Skywalker, who had disappeared. As described George Lucas, Rey is like Willard going upriver seeking out Colonel Kurtz, an allusion to Apocalypse Now. The story had Rey find Luke on a Jedi Temple planet, but he is a recluse withdrawn into a very dark space and needs to be drawn back from despair, Hidalgo added. Okay, you should have said that better. But anyway, he then wrote Lucas-approved one striking piece by Christian Alsman that embodied this incarnation of Luke. Okay. So here you go. So apparently this was Apocalypse Now.
Apocalypse Wars.
The Last Jedi was an apocalypse.
Yeah. And except, George did want Luke to be gone, and they had to find him. That's true. But Luke was guarding, can't remember what it was. He was at that temple guarding something, basically keeping it out, and it tied into the Mortis story of the Clone Wars.
Yes.
I would love to hear that story.
Which the end of the EU novels also did. So George was on board with that. And Luke in that story most likely was dying because he had been stabbed through the Force. So he was unwell when the novels ended. And I think he was going away.
And they replaced that with Ruin Johnson, who stabbed him and made him ill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, how do you have a whole movie and put Luke at the end of it and you see him for what amounts to 20 seconds, no words are spoken, and then in the very next movie, the first time you see Luke, he's chucking his lightsaber over his shoulder? F off, man. I wanted to leave.
Because that is Kathleen Kennedy and Ryan Johnson and all those people in that creative group. That's what they thought of the fandom. Oh, this is your hero? Right. Here you go.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't even that, Steven. It was we don't care about your past heroes. We want to promote our new heroes while killing off the old, instead of like Cobra Kai that started with your old hero and villain and switching kind of spots and brought the kids in to a point where now you want to watch both stories.
And right there is the difference. It's just kind of to pole vault off that of equality and equity. In Cobra Kai, you have equality, a representation of the old and bringing in the new. Then equal attention then given to both. You're able to respect the new characters. You're able to grow an attachment to them because what came before is respected and represented. And in The Last Jedi, you have equity. You have devaluing a segment of the fan base to elevate and or create a new one. Devaluing Luke to make Rey better. That didn't work.
That's not how it works.
That's exactly what Dave Filoni has been doing with the Clone Wars. Every time Ahsoka faces a very powerful enemy, that enemy gets nerfed in that scene, and she beats the person, and she's like 14-year-old Padawan, right? But one thing where you can see there was no plan between the episodes is at the end that you spoke of. Luke is standing on that cliff. What's he wearing? He's wearing squeaky clean Jedi robes.
Right.
And then episode 8 starts, he chucks the lightsaber and goes and puts on dirty clothes.
Right. You know what? I never even noticed that. You're absolutely right. There's an outfit change.
Dude, they brought the stupid in that film. I don't. We're never going to make it through this article.
That's fine, dude. That's my show. We can. We'll get through it. We will. I just want to say real quick, talking about Cobra Kai, real quick. Johnny wanted to hold on to the past, but he wasn't scared to change for the better for the future, and that's what the Star Wars sequel should have been. It should have been respecting, like you said, Steven, respecting and holding on to the good of the past, but changing what you need to change within yourself to be better for the future.
We could have gotten a great, even if they wanted to run with the Rey and Kylo Ren and all that garbage storyline, even if they wanted to run with them characters, they could have done it in a way that endeared them to us. But they didn't. They chose not to. Kathleen Kennedy's entire plan, since she took a hold of Star Wars, was to get rid of the traditional audience, which she viewed as toxic and sexic white males, and bring in all the woke Twitter mongers. And unfortunately, those people don't support. They do not financially support you. And but they did exactly what she wanted. They drove away the traditional fans. They have no respect for this legacy. They have no respect for the lore. They have no respect for the creativity. And the only thing they care about, which is paramount above creativity, is pushing their bullshit ideology and agenda. It's a travesty what happened to this modern mythology. One of the paramount modern mythologies of our age. This could have been a unifier, but they used it to divide, to segregate, to espouse bigotry. Fuck these motherfuckers.
Yeah, and Star Wars by design was to be timeless for the whole planet. That was what it was designed for.
For
it wasn't designed to be, identity politics from California in 2017.
Right.
People of Poland can't identify with that.
Right. McKinney, what were you going to say? I heard you trying to jump in there for a second.
I was going to wait till the end of the article, but...
we'll wait. I'll give you first crack at the end of the article. I'll give you first crack, because let's read a little bit more, and then you can jump on. All right. Whenever you're ready there, Culture Casino.
Oh, fudge sickle.
Uh-oh.
Did it jump on you?
No, it doesn't matter. It's fine now. It's fine.
Okay. Everything's good. Everybody relax.
The production value of the fourth wave would like to thank everyone for dealing with us.
Thank you. Alsman did indeed share a concept image of Luke Skywalker in 2018. The artist says the image was completed in January 2013 for a possible sequel trilogy. This was after Disney had purchased Lucasfilm from George Lucas. Disney purchased the company in 2012. However, Alsman does note that George did approve of it. He explained the piece: "My first image I made for Star Wars, The Force Awakens. This was January of 2013. Luke was being described as Colonel Kurtz type, hiding from the world in a cave. I couldn't believe I was getting to make this image, and I got a George Fabuloso on it to boot," he added. So there's the image.
No, God, he has a man bun.
Doesn't look like a hobo fisherman, does it?
No, it doesn't look like a hobo fisherman. He looks like he's a samurai.
Yeah.
Is he blind? Is his eyes glossed over?
Looks like cataracts. Yeah, it looks like cataracts.
Okay.
Yeah. However, Lucas made it very clear that Disney and Lucasfilm rejected his sequel plans. During an appearance on CBS This Morning, Lucas stated, "The issue was ultimately they looked at the stories and they said, we want to make something for the fans. People don't actually realize it's actually a soap opera, and it's all about family problems. It's not about spaceships. So they decided they didn't want to use those stories. They decided they were going to do their own thing. So I decided, fine, I'll go my own way. And I let them go their way," Lucas added. In fact, Bob Iger also stated in his recently published memoir, The Ride of a Lifetime, Lessons Learned from 15 Years as CEO of the Walt Disney Company, that's a title, that George felt betrayed by Disney and Lucasfilm. Iger wrote, "George immediately got upset as they began to describe the plot, and it dawned on him that that we were not using one of the stories he submitted during negotiations. George knew we weren't contractually bound to anything, but he thought that our buying the story treatments was a tacit promise that we'd follow them, and he was disappointed that his story was being discarded. I'd been so careful since our first conversation not to mislead him in any way, and I didn't think I had now, but I could have handled it better," Iger continued. Finally, he stated, George felt betrayed. And while this whole process would never have been easy for him, we'd gotten off to an unnecessarily rocky start. No kidding.
Yeah, right.
By the way, that book is full of a lot of fluff. There's many things in there I can disprove factually. But anyway,
I'm waiting for that video.
I have so much. I could do 2 weeks of Disney videos. But anyway, despite admissions from both Lucas and Bob Iger that Disney did not use his original treatments, Hidalgo goes on to claim that Rey, Finn, and even Kylo Ren were part of Lucas's original vision, which I know is baloney sausage.
I call that bullshit too.
Yeah. He wrote, The Force Awakens' long journey from idea to finished film was filled with evolution, but one idea that remained constant from the start was that of a young woman's quest to become a Jedi Knight. In George Lucas's original outline, she was a 14-year-old girl named Taryn. In his subsequent, that's total malarkey. In his subsequent iterations, she would briefly be named Thea, and believe it or not, Winky.
I like Winky.
No.
Sounds like an appendage. Anyway, when writer-director J.J. Abrams came aboard, he simplified the names to placeholders, Hidalgo continued. He then added Kylo Ren was Jedi Killer. Thea became Sally. Finn was called Harry. And the character that would be Poe was John Doe. That's creative. As the film neared production, Sally became Kira, which stuck as the production code name, then Echo, and finally Rey.
The Kira thing actually is true, because the concept art for The Force Awakens had her as Kira Solo. Mm-hmm. That was the name, Kira Solo. She was supposed to be Han's daughter.
I thought she was going to be, and even in this trilogy that we got, I thought she was going to be a Kenobi. Let me just read this one real quick. Terminus, etc. Established.
Est.
Terminus est. Okay, sorry about that, brother. $2. Pablo Hidalgo should be called Pablum Hidalgo. Thank you for the chat money, man. I appreciate it. I just want a quick hello to a couple people because Trey Courtney's in the house. Matt G, I haven't seen him in forever. He's in the house. We got Jayne Theory. We got Soul Asylum.
We got ETEP.
Oh my God.
ETEP?
Yep. We got Happy Dinosaur 8000.
Criminally undersub that channel. Please sub to ETEP.
Yeah, guys.
Great production value. He is fandom menace to the core. Please sub to ETEP.
Yeah, if you guys can drop his link in the chat. If someone has it, please drop his link in the chat. Brutal Morningwood's here too. If I missed anybody, I'm sorry. Let's finish this article because it's aggravating.
Okay, I'm reading more on purpose.
On purpose because it's just a spewing garbage, but I love it.
That's fine. All right. However, by Hidalgo's own admission, it appears Abrams completely changed the characters. On top of that, Abrams also confirmed Disney threw out Lucas's original outlines and revealed that the mandate was to start from scratch. He told Flash Film... no, please.
Mandate to start from scratch, that's Hidalgo's doing. He's the one who had them throw out all the other... basically the source material.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he's a tool bag. So anyway.
Yeah, he is.
He told Slash Film in 2015, I came on board and Disney had already decided they didn't want to go that direction. So the mandate was to start from scratch. Okay. And to tell a story that was the continuum. And Kathleen Kennedy brought on Larry Kasdan and Michael Arndt. Man, I hate that name. And it was those people I began working with. While Hidalgo's newest book tries to imply that Disney's sequel trilogy is based on Lucas's vision, the man himself made it perfectly clear it wasn't. On top of that, former Disney CEO Bob Iger also made it clear they were not based on Lucas's vision. And so did both J.J. Abrams and Rian Johnson. And if that wasn't enough evidence, Lucas told James Cameron that his sequel trilogy would explore a microbiotic world, which we knew. the world of
Yes.
the Wills. He told the Terminator 2 director the next 3 Star Wars films were going to get into a microbiotic world. I am so tired of reading that stuff. Anyway, but there's this world of creatures that operate differently than we do. I call them the Wills. Hey, I just said that.
I call
and
them
the
SJWs.
Wills. Yeah, and the Wills are the ones who actually control the universe. They feed off the Force. Sounds yummy. Back in the day, I used to say ultimately what this means is that we're just cars, vehicles for the Wills to travel around in. We're vessels for them. And the conduit is the midichlorians. The midichlorians are the ones that communicate with the Wills. The Wills, in the general sense, are the Force, Lucas added. What do you make of Hidalgo's recent claims about Lucas Skywalker and the sequel trilogy? I think he's full
before,
of hoodoo.
yeah, right. Well, right before we get back into it, another super chat, and we were just talking about this man, Etap Wakan. Oh God, how do you say it, Stephen?
Wakuyan.
Wakuyans. Sorry,
you asking me to translate? Yeah, ask Mac.
Yeah, I know.
Wakuyan.
It's Etap, and he's the best. The place to be reviews. He said I tried to ask Pablo about this, but he blocked me. I think I'm blocked by him too.
I was blocked when Twitter started. There's no way this guy would ever want to hear from me.
He wants an echo chamber culture. Yeah. That's what he wants.
Exactly. So he finds if you like had Jeremy attached to you, he did a full block of anybody attached to him. Found people he knew and just went that route. But getting to this, I always thought of the idea of the Wills and Jedis as a symbiotic relationship. And I thought that was a really interesting idea. And what we got was shit. And they pretty much try to defend it. And that's what bothers me even more. Defend the idea of not following up the universe this man, George Lucas, created.
Yeah.
Well, lately, as someone pointed this out earlier today, there's been an influx of pretty much hit pieces on the EU. And, videos from, the big Star Wars channels that are sucking up the KK.
Shills.
Yeah, shills. And it's been increasing. And now you have this, and you have the High Republic, which is basically a big fuck you to all the 6 movies that George made. And now this Hidalgo thing, someone said it might be like a scorched earth kind of thing, because KK is going to be out soon.
Mm-hmm.
And that means Hidalgo is probably going to be out. And they're basically trying to just fuck it up before they leave.
Yeah, they're just trying to sabotage it even worse than they already did, which is crazy.
Yeah.
And I want to launch into a rant, but actually I want to hear what McEnany thinks, because he said he had something to say at the end of this article.
Yep.
Okay, so where do I start?
Just rage.
Just go, brother.
I really hate what they did with Luke, and the more I think about it, the more angry I got. And where I hate it truly is after Rise of Skywalker, after sequel trilogies ended, we have had different articles, different people. Basically, everybody on Lucasfilm was smearing Luke after the Rise of Skywalker ended. You had Mags saying that Luke was the biggest incel. You had articles bringing up that what Jyn Erso did in Rogue One is what helped Luke out. So what Luke did didn't mean jack shit to anybody.
Actually, that's canon. It's not even the articles. They put it in the novel that Jyn Erso gets. She's the one. She's the reason why the Rogue Squadron got named Rogue Squadron. It's because of Jyn Erso now.
Right. That's the new canon, correct?
Yeah.
Oh, so it's not real,
really?
Right?
Yeah. Well, it is. It is until somebody else owns it. Go on, McEnany. Though I'm sorry.
It's just I don't get it. I don't get it. It's that here's where my problem stems in. It's not only just you're smearing Luke. It's you're smearing Luke because of the fact that you can't accept the fact that despite everything you threw at us In the sequel trilogy, we still love Luke. We still honor Luke. We still respect Luke more than any of your stupid ass characters that you created. You can't live with that. So what are you going to do? You're going to try to smear him every single step of the way. Make every single one of his sacrifices don't mean jack crap. I mean, let's look back at Rise of Skywalker. It basically negates everything that was going on at the very end. It basically negates the fact that everything that Luke and Anakin had sacrificed, everything that they worked up to that led up here, didn't mean anything. What did it mean to? And right, Palpatine. Yeah, Palpatine's back. He said he didn't kill him.
This also means Kenobi, because the Kenobi show is pointless now. It's watching over Luke, who doesn't matter.
Exactly.
At all.
You denigrate this so much, and you expect us, you expect the fans, you expect everybody who wasn't a fan to just jump back on? You expect people to think that just because you denigrated and devalued everything that was going on in the sequel trilogy and the original trilogy, in the original and prequel trilogy, using the sequel trilogy, that we're just going to immediately just catch on to everything that was going on in the sequel trilogy? No. I don't think it's going to happen. And even if
it's not even just that, Makini. It's not even that. Add on to what you're saying. What they did to him in the sequel trilogy and what they keep doing to him with all the the comic books and the books that are coming after, because they think they're fixing the issue, and all they're doing is making it worse.
You've done so much irreparable damage, and it's something that can't be forgiven. And your attempts at trying to smear and dismantle the EU and Legends continuity, that's not going to work either.
You know why?
Fans are not going to. Go ahead.
Last year, Lucasfilm approved of the production of a follow-up to the old Star Wars Marvel comics.
Yeah.
It was Marvel 108. It was the second highest selling Star Wars story on paper that year. It's a threat. People like the EU a lot more. People are buying the EU a lot more. There's channels popping up that are dedicated to the EU. People are asking, where do I start reading the EU, all that.
I've done that.
It's a threat. That's what it is. And articles are popping up trying to smear Luke in the EU as well.
The war for our modern mythologies is far, far from over.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry, Makini.
Makini's feeling it right now, but finish what you have to say. Let him have it. He's going through something. We all go through it.
It's what we're seeing now. And I hate to bring up politics, but this is what we're seeing now. You have one side basically trying to rewrite history. They're trying to rechange history, but you're doomed to repeat it. You can't reshape history. You simply can't. You can't reshape people's minds of every single person who grew up watching Star Wars, people who love Star Wars, people who love Luke Skywalker, people who love the characters. You're not going to change their minds.
But that's not who they're targeting, Makini.
Yeah, and the people they're targeting, and it's kind of a trick to tell you, the people they're targeting don't give a crap either.
Right.
And you know that, I know that, they all know that. They don't care about the. They have no respect for what's going on. It's kids. And that's the point.
The kids like it because they don't know anything different. My buddy's son,
they have never seen
the sequel trilogy. Even though he's seen the other ones, it's his trilogy. And I'm sad for him.
Well, Star Wars merch sales has dropped since 2017, has dropped by over 80%. The kids don't like Star Wars anymore. I was at a toy store to buy presents for my nephews last year. The only Star Wars they had was Lego, and they had one Rey figure. That's it.
Right.
Nothing.
Well, it's because also the collectors aren't buying it anymore. The adults aren't buying it anymore.
No? You can watch thousands of hours of all of Jeff's videos covering the fact that this toys don't sell anymore because of what you guys have done.
Right. Steven, because of their agenda, they're willing to destroy even the profit. Are they even willing to destroy that?
It's agenda.
Yeah.
It's agenda over content. A lot of these people are just there for a paycheck, but they're also so full of themselves that they think the rhetoric that they're spewing is somehow virtuous. They're all patting each other on the back, sniffing each other's farts, telling them how woke and wonderful they are. And anybody that has a problem is an automatic built-in excuse. That person's a right-wing, and Nazi supremacist kind of thing. Yeah, exactly. And that is,
what?
That narrative to them is more important than anything else. And the more pushback they get from traditional fans, customers, consumers that have supported this brand for decades, the more it actually validates their fight. So until Kennedy's gone, 97 days, 7 hours, 58 minutes, and 55 seconds, until she's gone and somebody gets put in power there that cares about the lore, I'm hoping that might be Jon Favreau. I have a little bit of hope in that guy. Until the company culture itself is changed. And I really agree with people like Nerdrotic who say that, even though with everything that's been bad this past year with the beer bug and all, that it has quickened the pace of their decline because they can't hide behind false numbers anymore. There's no built-in excuses for why they are failing. Like everything is failing. So it's kind of opening up the doors to what exactly is going on. And everything from toy sales to consumer interest has flopped. It has fallen. And it's not, like I said, it's not going to change until people get in there. I mean, that at least want to produce something for the consumer that they can make money from, at least have the profit on their minds. But until Kathleen Kennedy and her woke hires are the fuck out of there, it's going to be agenda over everything else. Profits, content, whatever, doesn't matter. They're there to fight the patriarchy or whatever malarkey that they have built in that day. So that's where I'm at with it.
And Steven, it's one of those things, and maybe Stig or Culture can add on to this, is what the feeling I get is somebody in Kathleen Kennedy's position who she started out like, I'm changing everything. This is going to be my Star Wars, my agenda. And now that she probably sees the writing on the wall, she's the type that won't bow out. She will double down until the end of her contract.
It's this, if I go down, I'm taking everything and everyone down with me.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm burning it to the ground.
But Favreau is not the answer, though, because if you look at his Twitter, he's woke as shit.
He is, but he respects the lore. That's the only thing I could say about him.
No, he does not.
Favreau doesn't. Or Favreau.
No.
The other one.
Look at The Mandalorian. It's lore-breaking as hell.
Mm-hmm. I mean, and he's not the only voice on that. That's the problem.
Yeah, but in one of the episodes, they trade micro binocular with the Sand People for safe passage, right?
Right.
The Sand People hate technology on a religious level. It's like offering bacon to a Muslim,
right?
And the show is so full of shit like that. It's sloppy.
Yeah,
and that's Filoni big time because he did that all through the Clone Wars and the Rebels. And
I think that's who I blame.
Yeah, and now they're stuffing Ahsoka in it, and I bet you Ahsoka's going to get Baby Yoda so she can be a single mom.
Of course. Let me I'll come right back to you. This is what I said midway through the season last season when everyone was loving The Mandalorian. I thought the first episode was good. After that, I didn't like the route it was going. But what I said was, because people are loving this, the second season will have so many other people involved in it. They will have everybody pushing. I want this character. Filoni wants Ahsoka. Ahsoka. Oh, we want more Mandalorians. Why don't we take these people from here? Hey, we're thinking about a spinoff with this guy. Let's put him in the show. And they're taking away from character building of, Cara Dune and the Mandalorian and even freaking Apollo Creed. They're not allowing us to learn more about them, learn more about their emotions, what they've been through. I have heard though that they might have a spinoff with a show with Cara Dune by herself, which I would follow her anywhere. So I'm down with that.
The problem, a huge problem with the Mandalorian. Remember when I mentioned Karen Travis quitting earlier because Filoni pissed all over the Mandalorian lore and all that. Mm-hmm. Filoni in the Clone Wars decided Boba Fett and Jango Fett are not Mandalorians, and he made that canon, which created a huge problem in the canon. And he said it was because Jango Fett was not born on Mandalore.
So he didn't even know. I even know that history, Stig. I even know that. I haven't read the EU.
And look at the Mandalorian. The lead character is not born on Mandalore, yet he is a Mandalorian. And all of a sudden, they don't. Is
that like saying Darth Vader's not a Sith? Darth Vader's not a Sith because he wasn't born of that race.
Yeah, something like that. But now he's gone back to it, though, with the new character, because he's not born on Mandalore either. But he's a Mandalorian.
Right, because it's a culture, it's a religion, it's a belief.
So he's gone back to the stuff Karen Travis wrote that he pissed on earlier, and now they can't even remove their helmets, even though all of the Mandalorians did it 10 years ago in Rebels.
Right.
So it hasn't always been the way. You know? It's been this way probably since the last 10 years. For some stupid
this is the gay.
Yeah, he's gone full circle and pissed on both canons.
Yeah.
Jabroni. You have anything to add to that culture?
Not in the next 5 or 6 hours. I mean,
okay, so we're gonna have a bitch fest stream. One of my streams is just gonna be about bitching about these franchises we used to love. But I want to move on to this because it's not going to be the longest stream tonight because I have to get up so early. But Steven's going to read this for us. And here we go again. Netflix CEO defends Cuties. Defends Cuties, calls the film uniquely misunderstood in the U.S. because we're the only ones that don't understand it. You would think maybe this was from beginning of September. No, this was an article from yesterday. So, Steven, take it away.
Firstly, this is the face of a man that you should not have anywhere near your children. This is from the Los Angeles Times. Netflix CEO defends Cuties, calls the film uniquely misunderstood in the U.S. Netflix chief executive Ted Sarandos, who should be on a watch list, is not entertaining any backlash to the controversial French film Cuties, which many detractors have accused of sexualizing young girls. Appearing at Monday in MIPCOM marketing event, Sarandos reportedly defended Decore's award-winning debut film about an 11-year-old Senegalese immigrant in France who rebels against her conservative family values and joins a free-spirited dance group. It is little surprise in 2020 America that we're having a discussion about censored storytelling, Sarandos said.
That's real. That's real.
That's rich.
That's real. That's real cute.
Yeah.
Coming from you. That's real cute.
It's a film that is very misunderstood with some audiences uniquely within the United States.
Bullshit. I'm in Europe.
Yeah, where are you, Stig? You're in Europe, correct? And I know guys in Australia that hate it.
People are pissed about it all over Europe. Except for the guy who gave it an award that later got sent to jail for 2 counts of pedophilia.
Oh, yeah.
He probably was okay with it.
Yeah. He probably was hoping he could take a copy in with him.
Yeah.
It's a little... okay, the film speaks for itself. Yes, it does. And apparently we saw 2 different films, you creep. It's a very personal coming-of-age film. A personal coming of... It's the director's story, and the film has obviously played very well at Sundance without any of this controversy. There's a certain culture at Sundance that loves this kind of bait.
It had controversy. The guy got arrested for pedophilia. At Sundance.
Yeah.
Is this guy... Well, I'll ask in a little bit. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's all right. And played in theaters throughout Europe with any of this controversy. Stig, would you like to confront that statement?
I haven't seen it in any cinemas.
But it says it played in theaters in Europe without any controversy. Was it released in theaters?
It hasn't been released in theaters where I live.
Okay.
I haven't even heard about this movie being in theaters.
Yeah, neither have I.
This is somebody who, and these powerful people, they don't think that we're going to fact check. That's the problem, because most people won't fact check. The the ordinary person just reads usually the headline and, oh, okay, defend it if the CEO defends it. But if you fact check this guy, he's freaking lying because he's trying to save his company because they've lost billions. He doesn't care about the welfare of these children. He's just defending it because they've gone so far down the rabbit hole, he can't back out now, he thinks.
Well, we are talking about the Los Angeles Times, and they prefer narrative over factual reporting. For instance, here we have a picture, right? If you saw this picture in isolation, you would think, oh, it's a kid's movie. It's a story about kids. They don't show you the pictures of, nude breasts of an underage girl, crotch shots, grinding, gyrating, all of the things that an 11-year-old should not be doing.
Hitting on an uncle?
Yeah. They want you taking a taking a selfie of their no area and putting it out on the internet. Yeah. All right.
Wait a minute, Steven. How old are they again in the film?
11.
And how old are they in real life?
They were around. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
Okay, in the interest of fact checking, do you know how much the box office is total for this film if it played in theaters all throughout Europe?
I'm assuming it's going to be under $1 million.
Oh, it is under $1 million. It's $692,459.
Woo, that's a killer movie, huh? Breaking records.
Anyway, sorry.
No,
thank you. Don't sorry. Jump in anytime.
In August, Netflix poster for the French drama ignited harsh criticism and an online petition to remove the title from the platform. The streaming giant promptly apologized for and changed the inappropriate artwork, which pictured its 4 preteen stars posing in costumes, baring their legs and midriffs, but stood by the film.
Now, that's a wordplay right there, Steven. Instead of saying 11-year-olds, you say preteen, so the word teenager's in there. So in your head, they're a little more, they're like 13, maybe 14. They're developed. No, it's preteen. They're 11-year-old children. They're children.
Yes.
Scumbags.
Yes, absolutely. Despite Netflix's damage control efforts, many continued to make assumptions about the movie, and criticize its director, who received a personal apology from Sandros while fielding numerous death threats after Cuties premiered on Netflix internationally last month. A grand jury in Texas went so far as to indict the streaming service for the promotion of lewd visual material depicting a child. Hail, Texas.
God love that country.
I received numerous attacks on my character from people who had not seen the film. How do you know? Right. How do you know they didn't see the film? Actually, a lot of us did take the time to look at that piece of garbage and know exactly what you're stomach with it. And someone such as yourself who would produce such a piece of shit, you may not deserve death threats, but you definitely deserve to be on a watch list, have your computer seized, and make sure that you are monitored so that you are no longer around children to produce this kind of pedo bait. Who thought I was actually making a film that was apologetic about the hypersexualization of children? That's exactly what you did, lady. I don't know what culture you come from. I don't know what part of the world you come from. I really don't care, because anybody who produces what you did and tries to defend what you did deserves to be monitored.
Can I talk in a comment?
Go right ahead.
What's that? Brad. Yeah, go ahead, please.
Someone shared a picture from, it was a porn site, much like Pornhub. It was, I don't know, the second biggest or something. The second highest searched thing on that site was Netflix Cuties.
That's disgusting, man.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. Yeah,
but that's, and let's say I'm going to play devil's advocate. Okay, director, you didn't mean to do a softcore porn with 11-year-olds. What you did was you were trying to do a coming of age movie, which I've never heard of for 11-year-olds. Usually it's teenagers, but the backlash is not just a small minority, like they try to always stick us in that category of a small minority. The company lost billions of dollars because of this movie, yet you dig your feet in the ground. Netflix is digging their feet in the ground and standing their ground instead of saying, wow, maybe we missed the mark with society out there, because they've been trying to do this for years. They're trying to normalize pedophilia. They're trying to normalize this disgusting, showing, I'm sorry, I'm so aggravated. Showing of young girls and young boys, it's not going to normalize. It should never normalize. If it does, our moral structure has collapsed and the society will collapse soon.
Well, unless somebody, it's okay. Look, there is a culture that does exist. It's a subculture that it has existed, and there are people in positions of power who have been caught with other people who are peddling children as for certain services.
I mean, Corey Feldman's been telling us about it for years.
All the time. And this is a world epidemic. This is a world problem. As much as we bitch and complain about our first world issues, even in this country and in other countries, the molestation of children is something that is an epidemic. That is a real epidemic. That's something that needs to be confronted. The rich get to do it. People in other countries that they don't have the infrastructures that we have run around and do it. There was an entire school of young girls who were abducted at one point in Africa. And when they were returned, they were pregnant. This is a problem that exists. My issue with this is trying to normalize anything that puts children in danger. There are a lot of people in this country who you may not realize it were abused as children. And a lot of them are men, and they don't speak about it because you got to be tough as a man. And if you admit to something like that, you are considered weak. When
I've admitted about it. I am one of those guys as a 6-year-old that was molested, and I'm not scared to say it because it has to be said. Guys shouldn't be embarrassed because you know what? It fucked up my life holding that in. I became a drug addict. I slept around with as many women as I could possibly. Well, many women that would allow me to sleep with them because I wanted to prove that wasn't me because I got taken advantage of as a young kid. And the problem is it's happening in this country. 39 children saved in Georgia by the task force, another 34 in Ohio from sex trafficking. And I don't care what your political views are with Donald Trump. One of his biggest things is stopping the sex traffic trade. And a lot of those people are children.
It's also interesting that a lot of those arrests happened after that Epstein lady got arrested.
Yep.
This is something. It's an epidemic, and it happens to girls. It happens to boys. It happens to all of us. I didn't mean to emphasize men, but
but it's true. Men need to speak up because it destroys a lot of people's lives. Men, women, it does. But men have been taught that wasn't supposed to happen to you. But when you're 6 years old and someone is twice your age, it's a little hard not to,
that's what I was
do what they're making you do,
that's what I was taught my entire life. And it took up until about 3 years ago for me to finally admit that happened to me. I don't want to see it happen to anyone. I don't want the abuse of children at all, period. I don't want any kind of acceptance of pedophilia. I don't want any kind of acceptance of this behavior. This to me is abhorrent. And anyone defending it needs a morality check. And they need their computer.
Remember last year, Lena Dunham bragged about how she had pretty much molested her sister.
Yep.
The media came out and defended the lady. It was sexist to criticize her for that.
Makani?
Okay. I want to answer me. It's for Origins, and that was my sentiments exactly. I know it's just hear me out saying this. I get what the director was trying to go for. However, this was the wrong way to do it. This would have worked a lot better if this was done as a documentary. As in,
not even a documentary, man.
Interviewing the parents, interviewing the kids of people who that influence, instead of trying to create a fictional story about it. Do it as a documentary because it would actually hit home much more.
Yeah, but because you're talking about she made the movie, she could have pulled the camera back. She could have been way far back when the kids are dancing. She could have had them not doing such sexual acts and have the camera right up in a kid's crotch. Like, she meant to do what she was doing. This was not her. She's, backpedaled just a hair, but this woman meant to film something that was, and this is my opinion, that she meant to film something that was provocative.
Yeah, dude, the film guy that she got is known as for taking pictures and film of naked kids. One of the videos that he had done was a short film, and all it was an underage girl running through a forest nude. Like, she knew what she was doing. This was planned out. She hired the right person for the job. She knew what she was making.
Yeah,
I don't want to hear any excuse.
Yeah, we can't defend her.
No,
go ahead, brother. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I wasn't trying to. I was just saying this could have been done. That could have been done a lot better, because that would have hit much more close to, because we would have understood it, and it wouldn't be that much outrage about it, because this documentary, you're talking to real people who had those experience.
Right.
Here's the thing. Her saying that, nobody heard that, the people who were complaining who didn't see the film, there were plenty of people online who posted reviews who actually did see the film. Oh wait, I'm sorry, I forgot. Netflix is trying to be Naughty Dog. They're trying to shut down any video that criticizes Cuties. So
basically, what it boils down to is, let's say you're making a movie about animal cruelty. You can do that without actually skinning a live animal to make a point, right?
Yeah, pretty much. And where I've said it numerous times before, and I a part of me still stands with it, and I think I still do stand with it, it's the hypocrisy. It's the blatant hypocrisy, because I'll try to describe it the best way I can. The people who would go and defend this, I would see, were the same people who would go after anime and manga so much for calling us
and calling because a female, a grown adult female in anime has breasts, which I got to see today when I was watching Dragon Dogma. Awesome show.
That and the whole loli argument. Here's the thing.
Right.
Here's the thing. It's fictional. And you can say this is fictional, except it's fictional, and the people who have, and it's a very rare case of any person who's into that subsection of anime and manga and stuff that I'm not into, they have never been, it's a very, very, very small case of anybody who of people who are actually acting out on it.
Right.
That's what I mean.
The thing also is the anime thing is that's not a real human being victimized. They're made for adults, the ones that are like that. They're not made. She made this so as a coming of age so kids can see it. Real quick, Orville Nation for $5. Great channel. PJ is getting guests on that I never a year ago could imagine him sitting down and talking to directors and producers and writers and actors. He's killing it, guys. So make sure you guys subscribe to Orville Nation. Have not seen Cuties, but one of the real problems with the movie is many liberal females in all European countries are supporting the movie. And he's over there right now, so he's seeing it where he is.
He's right. Bill Burr spoke about that the other day. They just want to put themselves at the head of the oppression line. Right. And they're doing that by defending sick shit.
Yeah, in the Meosphere origin, he pointed out too that they called it a feminist film.
Right, it's not a feminist. How is an 11-year-old a feminist?
Steven, please answer me that question. How is that feminist? I'm very curious. I get the sex. I get the whole feminist movie being about sexual liberation and such, but I'm sorry. At 11 years old,
if you're a feminist pedo. Yeah, I guess so. If you want that kind of, if you want to project that type of image onto young girls, so it's easier for you to have access to them, then I suppose it depends if you go down that route. But I don't think that has anything to do with woman empowerment. Trying to rush a child into a mature state like that. That's abhorrent. I can't see how somebody would call themselves a feminist and stand up for something like that.
And another thing is they'll throw the argument of other coming of age films similar to this, but one, those films actually handled it a lot better.
They did.
They handled it way better.
13 handled it
A lot of them were, a lot of them were 13. Some of them, the characters were like 13 or so you could understand that.
Coming of age movies usually are kids going into high school. That's a coming of age movie. Stand By Me was a coming of age movie.
Right.
You know, and a coming of age movie means you started a child out at the beginning and you end up something different. Maybe in a
I'll
more
take it
like
even further. Dazed and Confused was a coming of age movie, and they had kids. They had kids and 20-year-olds in there. And what happened with the 14-year-old that got to hang out with the high
18.
schoolers? Right? No, but what happened? Like what in that coming of age story, he met another girl his age, and the only sexual thing that took place was a kiss at the end of the film. That's a coming of age story. I don't want to see teenagers. I don't want to see preteens banging. I don't want to see that.
Right.
Remember in the 90s, Jeremy Irons was pretty much canceled for decades because of a movie called Lolita.
Lolita, yeah.
Yes.
But
nowadays, that would be something that's not even on people's radar.
Somebody tried to bring up the little girl in, I think it's Matilda in Leon the Professional as well.
That had a vibe to it.
It did have a vibe. I always thought of that when I was younger, but it never went there. It never went there.
The vibe came from the girl, though.
Yeah, she was she had, put it this way, she had more sex appeal in that movie, which it's weird to say, but I was closer to her age when that movie came out than she did with Anakin. Than she did with freaking Anakin.
Damn, bro, serious?
Yes. Watch that
black outfit she had in the scene by the fireplace.
Watch her eyes in freaking that movie. They're dead. She's dead inside in that trilogy. She hates being there.
I also love Kristen Stewart, so I guess maybe.
It's not Kristen Stewart.
No, I said but I also like her too. I like Dead Eyes. She's
you do. Yeah, you do. You sick fuck. All right, let's finish this article. And if it's too long, we'll stop. I got to hear what this guy's trying to say.
Well, let's see. The court told Deadline in September, adding she hoped that haters would understand that we're actually on the same side of this battle after watching the movie. No, I watched the film, and we are definitely on opposite sides. I understand what you were projecting. I really put my heart into this film. I bet you did. And flick the bean a couple times. And actually, my personal story, as well as the story of many children who have to navigate between liberal Western culture and conservative culture at home. So what you're basically saying is that liberal Western culture approves of pedos. Got you. All right, got that.
And that conservative culture is wrong.
I've been a liberal. I've been a liberal in the West damn near my entire life, and I've never once thought that was okay. So actually, I don't know.
The far west of the liberals does approve it because they just legalized sex with 14-year-olds in California.
Well,
and you could have a 10-year difference. 10-year difference. That's disgusting. 10-year difference.
Thanks for bringing that up,
Steve. In most states, under the age of 16, it has to be less than 2 years. If you're 2 years in 1 day, you can get arrested for statutory rape. They made it 10 freaking years. What the hell does a 13-year-old and a 23-year-old have in common that they should be dating?
Not a damn thing. Not a damn thing.
I have two daughters, and that is never gonna happen. Never. Real quick, Orville Nation again with $5. Orville, PJ, you don't have to do it, but I appreciate it, man. Thank you for helping out the channel. That's it. They think it's feminism, but actually very inappropriate. Well said, sir. It's the truth.
Well said. Yeah, PJ.
It's not that they think it is. Actually, I'm sorry. It's not that they think it is. They use it as a shield.
Yeah,
and also we have to remember the more nefarious meaning behind this, and it's not even just trying to justify pedos. It is creating another controversy, yet another thing to divide people upon, and that's the wall that they stand behind. That is the shield, that is the cudgel, the weapon that they use to beat us over the head and call us ists and phobes while defending their radical ideology. It is simply to cause division. Every single person, I don't care what side of the political aisle or social aisle, where you come from, what color you are, anyone in the world who sees this film and does not recognize it for what it is, has very questionable morality. in my opinion.
They're probably the same people that are ripping down Abraham Lincoln statues because he was a racist.
Well, the thing is that you've got people out there that don't really care. They don't really believe in their rhetoric. They don't really think, people don't understand what this film means. They know that they know what it means, and they know how it pisses people off, and so they use it as a tool to cause division.
Yep.
So basically using children as pretty much a weapon.
Absolutely. Yeah, nothing matters. It doesn't matter if it's Luke Skywalker or 11-year-old girl. They're going to use whatever they can to divide people, keep them fighting so that we don't point our fingers at the real people making the problems, them and the people that paid them, and call them out for what they're doing.
All I can say is Scott Melson, just keep talking. I'm
done with Scott Mendelsohn. Look, this was the dividing wall for me. I know he's a troll, but he always baiting us. He loves world class bullshitters. He loves Jeff Hicks over there, and he always writes articles just to get them videos
because he knows he's going to get attention.
Right, but once you step over this is a line. This is a line in the sand. Nah, we ain't dipping. I'm not saying you're just a playful troll.
Nah, bro.
You are a dangerous person. I'm sorry, man.
No, you're right. This is where I put again the line in the sand. If you do not understand that children need to be protected and allow them to grow up being children before that idea of adulthood comes and changes their lives forever, then me and you will never see eye to eye. And because those are the type of people that you'll never be able to debate them or even have a conversation with them where they'll be willing to hear your side of it. And those are the type of people I don't mind canceling.
All right, we're in the last
when I mean cancel,
parts.
you need to be done. Yeah, read it and let's be done.
No, and I need to get past this. In September column in the Los Angeles Times, culture critic Mary McNamara characterized Cuties as an imperfect but insightful portrait of a girl beset by so many opposing forces, and noted it defied her expectations. What I found was a film about rage, she wrote. Then that sudden, indefendable female fury that rises in so many girls, often self-destructively, when they realize that certain rules are not about protecting them but controlling them. Wow. This you need your Cuties is not about a girl coming to terms with her sexuality. Sexuality doesn't factor into any of her decisions. What? But a girl coming to terms with the nature of power and her immediate and potentially lifelong lack of it. Wow. So basically what you're saying is be sexual at 11 and get that out there, because if you don't, then you're going to succumb to the oppression of the man.
Right. And that's their way of calling us ists and isms again. If they throw that out there, then it's not their shield. Now that's their weapon. They're trying to turn it back on us because we want to protect kids.
How dare you be offended, Scott? How dare you be offended? I know. How dare you want to protect your children?
So let me get this straight. So it's empowering to see an 11-year-old try to seduce a very older man and take photos of her nether regions and post it all.
Nothing to do. Nothing to do with sexuality, McKinney. No.
Yeah. Are we done with this?
Gotcha. Got it. Thank you. Just want to.
Is this done, Steven? Good.
Yeah, I'm done.
It angers me, but we have to talk about it. We have to be able to. We have to come back at these people that they've been. Okay, so let me put it this way: Nancy Pelosi goes on CNN with Wolf Blitzer the other night, and he is defending a decision, like he's trying to explain the people need stimulus money. There are people that have been out of work for months. And what does she say instead of, yes, we should work with the Republicans like he was trying to say? She said, you are a Trump apologist. Wolf Blitzer being on CNN for so long, kissing their asses. The minute you don't agree with them, they try to turn you into something else and demify you.
Hold on. We talking about Wolf left-wing Blitzer?
Wolf. It's on you. Dude, if I can find it, I'm going to play it. Yep. I'll find it.
So hold on. Are you telling me that he asked journalistic questions? And
that's exactly what it was. He asked it wasn't even journalistic. It was, but he just did not sit there and agree with her. Like if it was Don Lemon or Chris Cuomo, they would have backed her bullshit.
And how did Pelosi respond to someone who doesn't kowtow to her make-believe world?
She went batshit crazy.
She called them demons, man.
Oh yeah,
What, she
aggressive.
Yeah, I'll find it.
Did Wolf, did Wolf take a thing in front of her house?
He took a little blue pill. He took a little blue pill and felt like a man that day.
I imagine that his CIA handler is telling him that he's not going to be able to protect him for very much longer. So it would be a good idea to, actually do his job.
He's going to be, or he might be suicided.
Oh boy.
It's so aggravating.
No, you're right, bro. It's like,
here it is.
It's a meme. It's a joke at this point because it's just so blatant and out there. And that's what's going on.
I don't know why I'm trying to show this. It's never going to come up.
No, give me the link in the private chat. I'll bring it up, bro.
That's what she said, Sporking.
Steve, I knew you were going to say that.
All right, I'm going to try to do it. Let's see what happens.
Oh God, it's not going to happen.
It's always fun.
All right.
Oh boy.
I clicked the share. At least I clicked share audio. You son of a
bitch. You remembered.
I did.
Well, where is it? I don't see it. Where is it? This thing. Did you freeze? Did he freeze? Scott, that's a small piece.
Oh, wait a minute. It's running for me. I hate you. I hate you so much sometimes. I'm stopping this. Okay, I tried. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, bro. I mean, we're just having fun with this right now. It's just
and I heard you. Oh my God! It's like I can't get it to work now. Geez, this computer sucks.
Just give me.
Oh, I got my PIN number finally from. I'm trying to get to it, Steven.
Scott, if you give somebody the link.
Asshole! Do you guys hear me? I can't give you the link. It's fucking frozen right now.
Culture is Scott talking.
I hate you both.
I hear him. I'm sorry you're frustrated, Scott. I did not know that.
Where's the link, Scott?
Frustration is this computer sucks. I'm not giving it to you guys now because I can't. I'm trying.
All right.
Why don't we talk about this real quick?
Let's move on. Let's move on.
No, we're going to get it. I'll do it on my phone and I'll just send it to our chat.
You got me all excited to see someone on CNN.
I hate you, Steven, you
possibly
piece of garbage.
doing their job.
We will. We'll come back to it.
You got me moist with anticipation.
Open up our private chat.
I am in the private chat.
Go to the dump.
Oh, go to the dump chat?
Yes.
It's
Sorry,
frozen.
Culture. That wasn't towards you. That was towards my computer.
I'm not worried about it. I'm
all right. I didn't mean if I offend people sometimes.
Not me. I
didn't think so.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Well, at least we got a $5 super chat from the Great
Nation.
Read your freaking super chat. Jesus Christ.
I am. If it comes up, it's slow. Sporking is looking like that Nymphodorillo from the Orville. Nymphodorillo. What is that? What season is that? Have I gotten that out yet? His avatar, anyways. Oh no, that's the White Walker doctor, script doctor. So it's White Doctor from Game of Thrones. That my avatar is the White Walker. Version,
white, not white.
Script doctor. Yeah. All right, I'm bringing it up.
Both says fax the link to them, Sporking.
Could have called him Honky Doctor. All right, you ready?
Hold on.
What?
Hold on.
Hello.
Christie.
Oh shit.
What's up?
All right.
Hey, Christie.
We'll come right back to you, Christie. Listen to this, and then we're going to come right to you and ask you what you think about this. Go for it.
Okay.
About the consequences of a pandemic, the symptoms of a problem that the president refuses to address.
But
that is the coronavirus.
We know
that is
we
the
know
coronavirus.
the problem out there, but there are millions of Americans who have lost their jobs. They can't pay the rent. Their kids need the food.
That's right, and that's what we're trying to get done.
$1.8 trillion, and the president just tweeted, "Stimulus, go big or go home." He wants even more right now. So why not work out a deal with him? And don't let the perfect, as they say here in Washington, be the enemy of the good.
She's out of her mind. She's 80.
Not let the wrong be the enemy of the right.
What's wrong with $1.8 trillion?
Well, you know what? Do you have any idea what the difference is between the spending that they have in their bill and that we have in our bill? Do you realize that they have?
Yeah, you want to murder children.
Yeah, right. It's all about politics. You're absolutely right. It's no, we want to bail domestic terrorists out of jail with this money. We want to allow the murder of unborn children. We want to do no. People are hungry. Let's worry about the living. Let's worry about people that are stuck in their houses that haven't been able to work all year. Let's talk about the people that have lost their businesses outright. All the comic book shops, all the different restaurants, all the family mom and pop stores that have had a problem. They don't have huge industries with bankrolls. They don't have the ability to put pressure on the government to bail them out. Let's talk about them. People you don't care about, Nancy. That's the problem.
Yep.
Wow.
She has the best ice cream though.
Yeah, her ice cream's like $12 or $24 a gallon or a pint. It's good stuff.
Things for child tax credits and earned income tax credits, or helping people who have lost their jobs, are eliminated in their bill. Do you realize they pay no respect to the fact that child care is very important for people whose children cannot go to school because they're doing remote learning? And
hold on, how does that make any goddamn sense? They need to pay back. They need to pay for the babysitters, but they're home.
It does. No. This is it.
Yeah.
This is it. It does make sense. It makes sense to her because she doesn't understand people are starving. People have not worked in months because she sits on her golden throne with her little liberal buddies, and they just say, "How can we screw Trump this week? How can we change the narrative and change history?" Because I was inviting people down to Chinatown, and now it's his fault that I did that. You know,
how do we make him look bad? Let's let this crazy freaking anti-American racist fucking hate group go around and burn down local businesses. We can make him look bad that way. Like anybody. Look, I don't.
Well, no, this is a stimulus package a stimulus package to help people get through this pandemic. But anyways, pandemic.
Well,
yeah, kind of. But real quick, Christie, and then I'll jump to you. They're worried about getting in, abortion clinics and funding for illegal immigrants to vote and also be able to go to college for free, instead of worrying about the two issues. This stimulus package should just worry about getting people money and protecting the mom and pop shops. That's it. Go ahead, Christie. Sorry.
Well, I was essentially going to say the same thing because, again, it's a stimulus package, and even I'm not that on board of the idea of it because with taking with the taxes, our taxes and everything. But still, that money, I'm fortunate enough to be able to work.
Same here.
I know a lot of people that aren't, and that $1,200 can go a long way for my best friend who had to move back in with her parents, and that's food. I mean, they don't care with the kids working or going to school remote and stuff like that. That's a low priority to them.
Right. Right now it's clothing, shelter, food.
Exactly. That's what the bare necessities.
But they're so on their ivory tower. Look, I don't care what you people think of Trump. He is the only one that keeps telling the Senate, and I'm not even just saying the liberals, the Senate. He keeps telling Congress, don't forget about the people. It's the people that need your help. And all they do is vilify him for that. All right, play the rest because this is where it gets good.
Yet they minimize the need for child care, which is the threshold with which people, mothers and fathers, can go to work if they have that. Do you have any idea of how
that's precisely why, Madam
short they're concerned?
That's why it's so important right now. Yesterday, I spoke to Andrew Yang, who says the same thing. It's not everything you want,
but you know what?
There's a lot there.
Honest to God, you really, I can't get over it because Andrew Yang, he's lovely. Ro Khanna, he's lovely. They are not negotiating this situation. They have no idea of the particulars. They have no idea of what the language is here. I didn't come over here to have, so you're the apologist for the Obama, excuse me.
Wow.
What? I'm asking you serious questions because so many people are in desperate need right now. Let me ask you this.
Okay.
When was the last time?
Let me respond to you.
Let me ask you, when was the last time, Madam Speaker, when was the last time you spoke with the president?
We're talking.
Wow.
It sounds like she's not the one negotiate. She's not the one who wants to negotiate, not him.
She doesn't. Let's remember back. Let's go back to March. She went back to California when she was gone from Friday to Monday. Both Schumer and both the head. Oh God, I'm forgetting his name. The Republican and the guy Schumer from the Democrats in the Senate were so close on a deal, saying it's nonpartisan, we're working together. She flew in on Monday morning and crushed that deal. She said, no, we're going to have the deal. We do not want it to have the Republicans' name on it. It has to come from us so the people see it's a Democratic one, not a partisan one. They want their name on it. So she won't accept anything that has a Republican name on it. So she's crazy. They are crazy, Christie, because they want to change they fundamentally want to change America. Fundamentally. And I know we have people from other countries listening, so I apologize, but this is happening everywhere. This is happening everywhere. You're starting to see the truth of these people who, for the longest time, just like Steven was saying before, they could shield themselves from their lies because we were too busy to follow up on it. But now that people have been sitting around for months, we can go back, and look, wait a minute. A month ago, you said the exact opposite. Now you're blaming the other side for that. It's ridiculous. I don't know. It's aggravating. Anybody have anything on that?
Oh, no. Lord.
I just think, because obviously Texas is a red state, and I am not necessarily, I'm going to vote for both sides of the party because there are some candidates I like more than others. But I think it's going to be really surprising. People might be surprised with California. I think especially with the whole celebrity.
Yeah.
And it's kind of
the working class is ready to revolt.
That I get. Essentially, that's what I'm trying to say is I think that it'll be surprising to maybe more of a mainstream type folk versus more of the working class. Yep. That you'll see more red in the state. I think that.
And you said something very intelligent right there that I don't think enough people realize. You're voting for the people that, look, when you go to vote, you should really know who you're voting for and not just vote for a party. Because there might be a Republican that I realize the Democrat will make my future better. Because that's what you're voting for, your future and your children's future or your family's future or your community's future. You're voting that way. Don't vote party. Vote the person you think is going to do the best job.
Do your research.
Yes.
It's amazing how much I have to fucking say that to my parents because they're big Trump supporters. I said, it's not just about Trump and Biden, you dumbasses. I really said that to my parents. Because that's what they're concentrating on. Right. Because they watch so much of Fox and CNN and MSN and all the other things. I said, what about your local elections? What about the state?
Exactly.
What are you going to do?
Because that's who really this pandemic taught us that when you have a constitutional federalist president and he sticks to that, it's your government, your state's government that's supposed to take care of crisis. It's not the federal government. That's why I don't like big government. I don't want, them all over my stuff. It should be your local government taking care of the issues and getting the funding from the federal government to help. It shouldn't be the federal government solving the nation's problems. It's the people you vote locally. I don't know. It's just ridiculous. It's even happening in New Zealand. Michael Wolff. Even happening in New Zealand, so it's everywhere. It's everywhere. I don't know. So I got to close it out, guys. I'm sorry. I got to.
No,
get
you're
some
good. I
sleep.
got my therapy out. This whole show was me raging.
This was
I
therapeutic.
feel better. Yeah, I feel better.
I wish you could have came on earlier, Christy. I'm sorry.
I was listening to y'all driving home from work, and I was just like, God damn it! But I don't want to sound like you on my phone whenever I'm trying to stream.
Yeah,
good job, Christy. That's right. Have higher standards.
I sound like a robotic, I don't know, trucker because I'm swearing so much. Mm-hmm. No disrespect to truckers. I don't want to be canceled because I said that. Oh my God.
Stig said that was a stab, Christy.
Well, I see in the chat Forbidden Ruin. It was trending yesterday morning. Turn Texas blue, and even Culture said it in the chat. If they manage to screw up Texas, we are lost.
Yeah, we are.
People forget, like Dallas is blue, Austin is blue.
All major cities usually are
all the bigger cities, but there's a lot of rural, like smaller towns and stuff like that, all throughout Texas, the counties and stuff like that.
I grew up in the rural. I grew up outside of Dallas, so I've always grew up in the rural areas. So
So, and we have early voting, and I saw some stuff with the Harris County is the Houston area, and so I voted yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
We had to separate apart, and it took about 30 minutes, but that was about it.
That's not that long.
No.
You know what, Culture? I have a question for you because you keep up on a lot of the Hollywood moving and stuff. A lot of people that are sick, and even like Joe Rogan and Elon Musk, people want to move to Texas because of, the communist state of California. So I can't see it turning blue. Can you?
Well, Christie makes a good point. I mean, the metro areas usually are, blue because they incorporate a lot of policies that are, they're the bleeding heart
government
policies.
Funding.
They're called, So, you'll find more of that in the cities. Outside in the outskirts, no. Somebody like Elon Musk is going to put a factory near an urban center, but maybe not in an urban center. So the bedroom communities that are surrounding it that are usually not blue, those will prosper. But it's possible. I mean, here's the thing: the outflow of people from California are going to take their blue politics with them. You can't be stopped, and most people do not realize that, I'm voting for this guy because I want this thing. Well, that one thing may be good for whatever your personal, row to hoe is, but it's maybe not good for the rest of the community. And that's the problem. Once people have realized, and this is why representative republics usually survive longer than most, but they still eventually will have problems because people will eventually figure out they can just vote themselves whatever they want. Well, the problem is nobody wants to pay for that. You can't have an economy operate in that way. And you end up with countries like, not necessarily Sweden, but similar countries where, Sweden. You have a 70-80% tax. So Greece. It's there's places where and we were there at one point in time, people. I mean, we recovered from 2 wars, and once we figured out that taxation was killing and stifling our growth, we moved away from that. But maybe so, but the biggest problem with it is this: if you can make people realize that there were other sources of charity than the federal government up until the last 40 years, there's been mechanisms in place to remove those. But if you're asking me specifically about California, because I've wandered off into the weeds like I usually do,
I love it though. Keep going.
Yeah, no, I think that California, I think that California's outflow of populace will influence other states. To what extent, it's impossible to know. But you're taking a giant company. Tesla's more than a car company, right? Exactly. Tesla's more than a space company. Tesla is a brain company. Elon Musk went out and hired absolutely every single one of the best engineers on the entire planet in their fields. He revolutionized battery technology most people don't know about yet. The next Tesla vehicle, the next Tesla car is going to go 600 miles with less weight than the current car does. The cooling problems for those batteries have been resolved. But anyway, so he's going to put his next big bunch of stuff somewhere where his next big bunch of stuff isn't going to be taxed to oblivion. Think about this. He's bailing out of California because he's already been told the taxes are going to hit the moon.
Yep.
They have to.
Yep.
You're talking about California is the 7th largest economy in the world, the entire world. Just the state of California. That says a lot, and they're part of the United States. Okay.
Right.
So that being said, you're talking about $3.2 trillion of GDP just from California alone. And that's a year ago.
Where does it go?
Well, the thing is right now, what do you think that GDP is going to be for 2020?
Oof.
And they were already suffering with multiple $1 billion shortfalls. So imagine the fact that nobody's done anything there, and everybody's still been getting money, and all of the state programs have still been moving, in the red. So
yeah, they have one of the biggest homeless populations in the world, and the United States too. But
and the density of those homeless populations are around the bluest cities. And they're spread amongst the folks in the blue cities, and they're just looked over and walked over, stepped over. So it's just, you eliminate the other sources of charity, such as churches and clubs and organizations, groups and things like that. You demonize them, get them gone. And then the government's the only one there with a check. Well, and then you have, roving bands of idiots tearing down everything, that it's not good. So
recipe for communism. Or fascism.
But it's not. But here's the thing: the California, and it's always been this way. But the coastal cities have always been blue. I mean, the denser cities have always been blue. So, but will Texas change? It could. Will it change this election? Probably not. You have to establish residency in most states for a period of time before you can vote in that state. So we'll see. I mean, there'll still be voting in California. So
and California is still trying to tax people for 10 years after they leave the state too. So that's
crazy. Do that.
I know they can't.
Fucking crazy.
It's nuts that they even brought it up.
It's going to be interesting, but Comrade Newsom's out of control. He really is. If you can see the madness in his eyes when he speaks.
Him into Wisconsin. That was beautiful, man. Thank you.
Over.
Oh no, I enjoy every minute of it, man. Thank you so much. We're going to close it out though. So we're going to start first with our guest, one of our guests, and that is Machiny90. Tell them where they can find you, your Teespring, all that good stuff.
Hey everybody, my name is Machiny90. I am a YouTube artist. YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, new time lapses every week. Drawing streams on Sundays and Wednesdays at 12:30. Here's what I have in the docket in store for you guys. All right. First up, new time lapse in progress. Another one of the Maki Ween drawings that we're doing. I'm dressed up another character with with honest.
Nice boobs.
I love. How did I get in charge?
Well, I don't know.
Where did he go?
You out of here. I want to see what he was showing. Come on.
Where did he go? We lost him.
We lost him. What?
Just go to the other show.
Damn the boob gods.
All right, Stig. It's on you.
Yeah. Oh, not really. Not a YouTuber at all, but I talk to YouTubers on YouTube, on their YouTube channel. Do you have a tiny channel that I did from peer pressure, though? That I upload stuff to now and again, including some top 5 lists that Christie seemed to.
So good.
They usually get like 120 views, and probably 100 of them is Christie.
Yep. I probably the most recent one did about 7 times.
If you want to know what's wrong with her, go watch those top 20s.
It's my Christie.
Top 5s.
And you could we'll be right with you, McKinney. You can catch Stig on Monday nights with A Song of Ice and Fire. We're doing the Hedge Night on Monday night, and that's going to be really good. We might have a very special guest on that show too.
Put it back.
All right, Machiny, Why is
I am so sorry. I hit the wrong button. I hit leave by accident.
Oh, so
sorry.
it wasn't
sorry
me.
About that. No, it was me. I'm sorry.
Playing with my bologna sausage. Come on, thank you.
Christie can relate.
Okay. All right. So, new time lapse coming. Hopefully I want to try it by the end of this weekend, but it's probably going to be next week. It's going to be in this one of Annika's Leo. So we'll get to that. But Sunday, we are continuing the Sylvia as 2B draw stream. We just had one earlier this afternoon. Went out really well. Thank you so much.
Yeah, right.
To everybody stop by. Thank you for Mads Mama Bear to always support me. But yeah, I'm going to be continuing with this on Sunday. I'll be having Mads Mama Bear, Bruce Lombardo on, and maybe have some extra people on. But yeah, I hope you guys be there. I'm working my way to 300. My ultimate goal is to get to 1K and get monetized.
Good for you, brother. And if anybody has it in tight with Anna, I would love to see him and her talk about art. So if anybody has it in with her, get that up there. Get that going. Someone's choking to death. Next up,
choking.
Our last minute friend, but I'm so glad she showed up, Christie.
Hello. You can find me on YouTube and Twitter at According to Christie. I do the music streams. Jesus Christ. The movie streams on Saturdays, Queen's Council, This Week in BS sometimes, and just wherever to pop along. Oh, the Geek Blends channel. They do the trivia on Mondays. And that's fun.
I'm going to try to be on. I didn't give Kai an answer yet. Kai does a game show on Sunday. I'm going to find out tomorrow, Kai, if you're still in the chat. I want to be on that show. You invited me on. So
he literally just said something, Scott. So
I have to admit that every time I see Christie's avatar, I think according to daddy issues.
I know, me too. Now, are you going to be there Monday, Christie?
No, Monday. I'm lucky if I get off by 7:15, 7:30. So I got off at 7:00 today. So that's a little.
Thank you you're always invited on my streams, buddy. Thank you.
Thanks.
And there he is.
Culture's 10
Culture
minutes
Casino.
outro.
He needs to take a nap. The man works too hard. Yawning Casino.
Yawning Casino. That's gonna get clipped. Good Lord. Anyway, hi everybody. I am exhausted, Casino. No, I'm actually doing all right. It's just been a long day. Thank you all for everybody that's here in the chat, everybody that's all around. I really appreciate all of the support that you've given me, and you've given all of these people as well. I can't say thank you enough. I'm going to try Monday at some point in the afternoon, and I'll have the time officially on my community tab on my YouTube channel. Which if you have notifications turned on, or you have them all turned on, you'll actually get that notification. I guess it's been working lately. I'm going to have a live stream to celebrate my actual finally getting the official through all of the clearances, all the bank stuff, everything that makes, the people that are on the YouTubes happy. Yay. So my official monetization celebration will be on Monday in late afternoon for me. I don't know what it is for the rest of you, but and I'm going to invite everybody here on the panel, anybody who's participated with me or feels close to me or whatever. I'll be inviting you on to show up and say hi to everybody. We'll get you traveled through. And the last part of that is this. I've been working really hard on merchandise too. So hopefully I'll have a Teespring store ready to go and a Patreon for those who want to skip the percentage that YouTube takes. I will figure out the tip jar. Over. Yeah, I will figure out the tip jar thing. According to Daddy Issues, Christie sent me some links and stuff on how to set that all up. So hopefully I'll get that figured out too. But anyway, thank you all. To say that.
Sorry, I was just going to say I would suggest if you're not monetized, do PayPal. If you set up a PayPal,
PayPal's great.
That's 100%. Goes to you.
Yeah, I have my stream elements set up via PayPal.
Nice. And last but not least, the author once again, Stephen Walton.
Hello, I'm the Panda historian. Your historian.
So sad Gilky's still not here.
Oh, thank you guys for being here. Oh, I said keep going.
I got to go to bed. Let's go.
All right. Thank you guys very much for showing up today, hitting the like, sharing out the link. We love an industry to support us. We have you. The Fandom Menace Volume 2 is available now on Indiegogo. Please go and check that out. I have wonderful array of contributors in this book, like Jessie Milestone, and I'll be on her channel this Thursday for Thirsty Thursday. I'm actually going to drink online for the very first time on a live stream. So come check that out. Don't know how that's going to end up. You can also
ask Christie for some tips.
Shut up.
You can also check out the Fandom Menace Volume 1. It's also available again if you didn't catch it the first time. Thank you guys very much for sharing out the link for the Indiegogo. I really appreciate it. I'm not exactly Comicsgate, but I am an independent creator, so I'm kind of going on the Comicsgate shows, but still it's a very different setup. And this is a Fandom Menace project. It is an historical documentation of the year of 2018 of a group of independent creators and people in the chats, most of which are on this panel too, and people out there in the chat right now that were fighting against the use of our escapism, our modern mythologies as a platform to espouse division, rhetoric, hate, and at the cost of our modern mythology. So thank you very much for being here. Okay. Now I'm going to do it. I am author Stephen Walton, the Fandom Menace historian, your historian, born in the chats of the High Council with my brothers and sisters fighting for our modern mythologies. Wash your hands, wash Chrissy's ass, be good to each other. Peace.
Damn.
We squat, but do not kneel.
Yes, we do. Thank you, everybody, for coming tonight. Thank you to my great panel. I appreciate everybody taking the time to come on the stream, taking the time to chat in the chat and watch this. You guys rock. You are like the most dedicated. I hate using the word fans because it doesn't feel like that. Friends that I know. So thank you all. And let's put a spork in it. We're done.
Watch.